we've got all three in the building. We got three big boys from No1Network.
Boys, fucking big boys, man.
Three of the big dons. So, who runs No1Network then?
We do.
But is it like a collective?
It's a collective, yeah, man. There's a few of us doing a few things at the top, running like I guess the organization of the crew and what's happening, and it's pretty open to whoever's doing anything fresh, man.
Yeah, anyone that has the initiative, you know, can do as much or as little as they want to, basically. You know, it's like a healthy democracy. You know what I'm saying? We out here being diplomatic.
Okay.
You know?
But yeah, it's been definitely a natural progression of people we've known through the community in Brizzy throughout different various forms of art and shit. And
big boys doing big shit, brother.
Okay.
You know? You got a passion, you chase it. You inspire the children of tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're out here doing. No1Network is for the children, you know what I'm saying?
What was your plan, man? What we were wondering as well, like, why'd you want to hit us up specifically?
Well, okay, so I want to get this podcast thing going just because for the simple facts of I don't feel like there's no one right now is really out here on a consistent basis doing things like interviews and talking about the scene and whatnot. I know like West Enders is trying to do something. You got Triple J kind of doing it. But Triple J seem really far behind in terms of they'll do an interview and then upload the highlights like months later. I don't know what their format is.
Yeah, they're a big platform run through ABC. Like that's a national government funded thing. So yeah, probably the biggest players out there, but at the same time, there's not many people doing.
It's actually surprising, but I think there's a lot more popping up here and there. You know, you see stuff. I've seen like a few little interview blog things popping up here and there, but you know, like it's just funny. Like as the scene pops off, people start to catch up. Like the last 6 months, I've seen so many Oz rap Instagram fan pages pop up at it, and surely the podcast will follow as soon as people have enough money to buy a mic and get a healthy internet connection.
That's
and get
it.
That shit
I mean, look, I'm jumping on that wave as well. Admittedly, I mean,
yeah, but you guys. In the UK, you have like real internet. We don't have that shit here, bro. We have like fucking connect to your grandma's dial-up internet down here, bro. Like, I swear half the time, Wi-Fi, like, I'll just quit trying to use the Wi-Fi. I'll just use my data, bro, because that shit's like twice as fast.
We're running data right now, man.
Yeah, bro. I ride a kangaroo to school, bro. I don't give a fuck. That's what it's like down here, bro.
I mean, you get more and more people trying to hop onto it, and as you're saying about the Instagram accounts and things like that, I was talking to somebody else about it, and they were saying the same thing, like people who are just literally reposting other people's shit and just trying. It don't even seem like they're trying to promote the scene or the artist. It's kind of more for their own benefit, getting likes and things like that.
I don't even know.
But there's a couple cool ones out there. I mean, like UK Presents, obviously are trying to do their thing, trying to bridge the gap between.
Yeah, he's hustling it. He's hustling it hard. You can tell he's putting in. And he loves the shit, and bridging the gap's pretty good too. So it's really dope.
Well, he's definitely got connections. How did that the UK Presents Cypher come about?
Let me think about that. He kind of just hit us all up, hey, like, yeah, he just hit us all up. I think he put us in a group chat and just was basically like, boom, this is what you need to do. This is when you need to do it by, bang. And that's what I work well with, because I don't know, like, in this industry, you got to have like deadlines for people to get shit done. Unless, like, if you're working with a group, like, in saying that, deadlines can kill creativity, but they're also good for getting shit done, which is what I like to.
I'll agree with you on that one, definitely. I mean, I know it's frustrating having to have patience with other people. You know, people that really want to work with you, you really want to work with them, and just some people just seem so unorganized. And so I know what you're saying about deadlines can kill creativity, but I agree. Without it, sometimes people do not get anything done. Like, people don't seem to get anywhere. Like, I've hit plenty of people up collabing, whether it's music or podcasts or other things, and just there's so many people that you just don't hear back from them, or they take long, or they say they're busy. Or I mean, do you boys struggle with that as well in terms of collaborating with other people and artists in particular? Or
we pretty much try to fuck with people with a certain work ethic, so that I think that's why we've got a certain standard.
Yeah, that and also if I hit someone up or something comes about where we want to get it done, and it doesn't just it's almost like I only really work with shit that kind of writes or finishes itself, you know, like if there's a certain vibe that it's going to get done, you're not going to have to wait because you're both going to be hype as fuck and you're going to want to get it done. And like, I'm not going to do anything that's not naturally just going to complete itself due to like the energy of the whole thing. Like I'm not going to do anything where I have to force myself to finish it because then it's probably not good.
Yeah. I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that. I mean, do you know who you can hit up in terms of if you need shit done? Do you know, are there certain go-to people that you'd be like, right, if I give them a date or if I give them a certain timeline, they're going to be able to finish it? He's the man.
Pretty much.
You can tell who's got a good work ethic though.
Yeah.
And that's why we're doing an interview with you, man, because we can tell you work hard, bro, you grind. Like, we haven't spoken much at all, but we watch and we see your grind and what you do, man. And big ups for all that, eh?
Yeah. I don't know, like, I guess that's why, like, one of the main reasons I learned how to do audio shit by myself, because I don't like waiting on people, so that's why I do that. Plus, I'm probably, on some level, a control freak. I probably don't like to admit that, but I definitely must be. If that's why I've done all this shit. But it kind of just happened naturally as well. Like, I find the whole audio engineering thing pretty fascinating, so I just got into it, and now it's good because me and Golly can, you know, make an album and shoot music videos, just the two of us sort of thing, so we don't really have to worry too much about deadlines or collaborating. And
yeah, we got a good little team coming together.
Yeah, and when we started, it was a lot more just off the cuff, doing random videos here and there. But we've met people over the last couple of years that there's some people we work with and it goes okay, and we do one thing and then it kind of doesn't happen again. And then there's other people that we've worked with that are organized, because you're working with creatives, and creatives are often not the same mind as a business or like an organized person is. So you just got to take it how it is. Some people are both, some people are one or the other, yeah.
And learning together as well. Like, we didn't have $500 to do a video, so Toby found a mate who he could convince to learn how to do videos, and we needed fucking logos done, so we hit up our mates who draw and do painting and shit, and like they figure out how to vector and make album art or.
Yeah, I guess we never hit up any we've never worked with a professional, like, from the start. We just kind of learn how to do shit.
Well, that's
ourselves.
The saying, isn't it? If you want shit done, do it yourself, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And invest in yourself,
Yeah, yes. Invest in yourself. That's what my mum tells me, man. You gotta build value in yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's some real mum shit.
For shout out to Mumsy.
Always to your mum. Shout out to everyone's mum. Listen to your mum.
Well, yeah, I mean, you said about doing audio production and things yourself. I mean, I've said this plenty of times. I've said this openly on many occasions. Nerve is the definition of an artist.
Shout out the boys.
And I say that I don't throw the word artist around lightly. I think there's plenty of MCs, but there's only a handful of artists. The reason I wouldn't define myself as an artist is I can write, I can deliver, but I can't produce myself. I can't mix and master to a high level myself. There's plenty of holes in my game, which for me makes me feel like I'm not a complete as a creative. Whereas for you, it seems like you either have a hand in everything you do, if not do it yourself. And obviously, I remember saying something like that before, and you said that, but you've got your team around you and whatnot. But even as you said, on a control freak kind of level, at least you have some say or input to everything that's happening.
Yeah, I just like it that way, I guess. I don't know. And also, I mean, like, sound engineering just came pretty naturally because I've done a lot of harmonics and electrical physics, so all that sort of stuff just kind of went hand in hand with a lot of other stuff that I've learnt in uni and school and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I just ended up doing it, shit was pretty cool. And then, yeah, I mean, like, actually, I kind of just had no choice because I was recording I was recording on a shitty mic in my closet with egg cartons for soundproof. And then I just had to make it good. And, then I met Brainstorm from No1, who runs the studio we use for pretty much everything we've done up to this point. And I just asked him, and he just taught me. And yeah, here we are. Big raps. Big old raps.
And so, how much work did you have? Obviously, you had to put in a lot, but what was you really doing on like a day-to-day basis to really work on that shit? Like, did you learn completely off of somebody else, or was most of it self-taught?
I think it's just a process of like trial and error. Like listening to music, reverse engineering how people have made certain effects, learning stuff off certain people, YouTube, fucking up heaps and then making it better. Like more just like acquiring a taste and then looking back on your old shit and being like, wow, that was trash. But, constantly do that. So yeah, I don't know. It's just constantly evolving. Like I don't think it's ever gonna stop. Like it's a taste thing, it's a knowledge thing, it's all that stuff put together. Like I don't like the stuff I was making a year ago as much as the stuff I make now, but there's probably people out there that like the stuff I made a year ago better than the shit I make now. It's like,
yeah, of course,
it is what it.
And that's something I think every artist needs, to constantly be looking to improve. There's plenty of people that say like, I've been doing this shit for years, which is fair enough. You've been putting in the work for years, but unless you consistently look to improve, I feel like the day you stop improving on yourself, or the day you stop looking at new ideas, feels the day where you kind of start going backwards. And I feel like some artists are too stuck in the rhythm or pattern that they've got, or kind of, they've been doing it for however many years, but when you look at it now for the past however long, they've not done anything new. And I feel like that's where fans start to get bored, or fans start to, question how much longevity they have in them to really be pumping new shit out. I mean, you have the flip side of that as well, where you have artists that try new things and fans are like, what's that? I didn't want that, like someone like Eminem, for example. If Eminem does something new, everyone just seems to hate it. They just want the 98 Slim Shady Eminem,
Yeah, Eminem's selling out world tours, you know what I'm saying? Like, people hate, but, all the artists they drop some new shit, and then everyone's like, what the fuck is that? And then a week later, they're like, oh, this is actually kind of dope. And then, like, that's how it goes. All the artists that stay relevant for more than 10 years, Kendrick, Eminem, Michael Jackson, all them dudes. Maybe not Michael Jackson right now because of that docker.
Yeah, no, good example.
Musician. You can cut that out, bro. I didn't say anything about Michael Jackson. Anyway, good musicians that stay relevant for more than like 10 years, they're constantly making the fans go, what the fuck is going on here? And that's because they're doing new shit. Like,
that's where the art is.
Yeah.
Just something new, something different.
Yeah. Like, make people say, oh, the old you would have done this because the new you's doing something different. And that's a good.
I think it's a good thing when people change. I think people look down upon it as in not being the same person. I think it's good to keep the same values or morals you have as a person from however many years back. But in terms of changing as a person, of course people are going to change as people. Of course everyone's going to change. Obviously, it's just whether you change for better or whether you change for worse. And I think.
Yeah, like I start dropping bricks every day and get some grills and start going like, yeah, Zans, then people probably won't like it so much, but that's not me, so I'm probably not going to do that. I don't know, maybe, bro, like you'll see what happens, We'll see what happens, bro. Maybe, maybe my next mixtape, I'll be fucking whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, yeah, I mean, as well, when you're an artist, you develop a character, you develop a style, and that's what people know you for. And so when you start delivering something that's not within that character or style, I think that's where people also seem to have an issue. It's not what they expect from you. And I feel like the best artists are able to deliver something new while still stylistically being able to keep something original of themselves. I think when people just out of left field gone.
That's why you get big in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Doing something new, something different.
Yeah.
You gotta keep doing that.
Bro, the amount of songs that I've heard this year that have drip or like bag in the name or like fucking big flex, big drip, get that bag, homie. I'm like, fucking hell, bro. Like, we get it. Hey, I don't know. Like, fuck it up, fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, that shit. I'm sick of it, bro. Like, it was sick when it was sick. But it's just like that sort of shit, you know? Like, especially with everyone, like, you know, anyone can buy an audio setup and start dropping shit and putting up Instagram ads. But, you know,
especially now, especially 2019.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a fucking definitely a different time right now.
Yeah.
And I think we were definitely lucky to start doing stuff when we did.
Yeah.
We still went hard as fuck, and we were doing a video every week. But now it's fucking easy the formulas are there. Everyone knows what to do to make it look like you're an artist. What photos to post or what to wear or even how to do it. But that's where it gets, the originality is making your own formula.
I mean, I think the good thing about the internet and how anyone can now upload to YouTube and Spotify and SoundCloud, I think the good thing is you get more people that are willing to do it, you know. You get more people that are picking up a mic, they're recording off of their phone, and they're literally like the shittest audio quality going, but they're uploading, you know, they're actually doing it. And if that's what they want to do, you know, good for you. Like, you do your thing. And then you get the other side of things, as you said, it's anyone can do it. So now you get people who don't know a thing at all, and you know, they're putting ads on Instagram, they're putting ads on Facebook, they're promoting their shit to all these pages, and it's like you've been doing it for the whole of 15 minutes, and it's like, yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but you just gotta work, man.
Run a mixtape, that's for sure. Yeah, run a mixtape.
Yeah, but in saying that, it also means that people who may not have had the money to get an audio set up can do their shit and pop off because they're actually really dope. So that's cool too, you know? You got people like who can do like a little freestyle banging on their car window to make the beat, and then they go viral and shit, people pick them up, and that's mad. So I don't know, bro. Like there's no secret to it. It's just like if you're dope, you're dope. Like, that's about it.
Yeah, no, I do that to a certain extent. People are asking all the time, like, I'm sure you boys get it as well. People sending you their freestyles or their link to a SoundCloud track. What do you think of this? And it's like, there's only so many you can answer to. But even then, sometimes I try to listen to as many as I can and give, like, a little reply or something. And people are asking, what can I do to get better? And it's like, I can tell you what you can do to improve, what I personally think. But ultimately, you need to trust your own ear and be able to identify those problems or those things that you don't like yourself. And two, some people just have it. Like, they just naturally have it. Like, for me personally, I feel like I'm good at writing. But in terms of delivering, I don't feel like I'm at where I need to be, kind of thing. I don't feel like I naturally have that. So I can work on that as much as I possibly can. But some people just don't naturally have that. I know other people that can't write for shit, but they can perform. They can, if someone was to write a verse for them, they'd take that verse, put their own little twist on it, and make it absolutely slap. You know? But some people just have that natural ability to be able to write and perform and just have everything to their game. I mean, I think that mainly comes down to practice. Like, just working at it, even if it is songs that you like, being able to spit it word for word, or, you know, just writing your own shit. Like, the amount of I'm sure you, all three of you, well, maybe not Kyle, I don't know, Kyle, you dropping bars soon? I don't know.
Bro, let's that, that's not right now. We'll see.
Golly doesn't rap.
Nah.
Well,
he doesn't rap.
Confirmed official rap. Here.
Listening. I know I bet he raps in the shower. I know.
But I'm sure No1Network I can talk to this about how many songs have you written that you've never released because you never liked what it sounded like the next day.
Oh, you know what? It's
uncountable.
Yeah, it's fucked. You know what? It's not really like I didn't like how it sounded the next day. It was like I don't think I've ever dropped the track that was, since like I started taking shit seriously, like every track I dropped has been like 6 to 8 months old or older when I dropped it, you know, like, so some songs, man, they just get dated, and like it's tough because we're always trying to have a methodical approach to shit, and I'm constantly making new music and changing up styles. So there'll be times when I'm dropping something and I just don't like it anymore. But I think that's like totally normal because people, like listeners, haven't heard what I've heard. So when they hear it, it's fresh and new. But I am trying to work on getting stuff out more quickly so that it's, you know, more ahead of the game and newer. And I will be doing that. The second half of this year, we're gearing up to drop like a shitload of content real quick, like bang, 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 bang. It's gonna be good fun. So little teaser, little teaser.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
I would say like with those unreleased tracks too, it's still sick because you can go back on them and like you can still practice the bars. It's still practice at the end of the day. So like, I just think it's good.
Yeah. Off, like for example, like the Sober album, I probably had like 30 tracks and then cut it down to 15. I don't know what it was,
God, yeah,
but I cut like
Syntax. It was like 50
oh
tracks.
man, yeah. Are you familiar with the whole Syntax Junkies album? Yeah, that was like 35, 40 tracks before we cut it down to a mere 22. And then yeah, that shit was a mission, man. That was probably where I learnt the majority of the stuff that I used was mixing a 22 track album with 4 MCs on it, because that was basically fucking hell.
I can imagine. Yeah.
You know,
shout out to Spectre Mess, Jolly Rotten.
Yeah, shout out to Syntax boys. That was a wild time. But yeah.
No, I know what you mean in terms of writing songs and you don't put them out because they get dated over time. I mean, I probably, in my notebook somewhere, probably have 20, 30, 40 songs that are from like between like 2017, 2016 even to now that are finished. Just never got round to recording it and putting it out. Some are even recorded, just the file sitting there. And even if you was to release it, I'm sure plenty of people would fuck with it. Plenty of people would love it. But you know that you've got better things, so you don't end up putting it out in the end. Yeah,
and there's also sometimes like you might think a song's dope, but if you drop it and it pops, it might be popping for the wrong reason, or I don't know. There's a lot of things like I don't know. It's kind of like I do it for people to listen to, but I guess I also do it for myself to some extent. So I only want to be dropping what I.
Well, I think you have to make music that you like. I mean, you have to like your own music. For all the people who say, "Nah, I don't really listen to my own music," I say bullshit. I say if you really fuck with your own music, you should be listening to your own music. I mean, for me, a little bit is ruined for me when I actually release a song. For example, my favorite music from me is the stuff that's written, not even recorded yet, not released yet. When it releases, I still like it, but now that it's shared to the world, I don't know, it don't feel as good to me. I enjoy it most when I was practicing the bars, when I was still tweaking it, when I was still writing it. That's my favorite part of the creative process, as opposed to when it's out. I'm terrible at the whole promotion thing, going on social media and go check this out and that link. I'll promote my most recent track. I probably promoted the whole of about 3 times on social media. I'm terrible with things like that. My favorite part is the whole writing aspect of it.
I feel that.
But yeah, you're right, because the last couple of weeks, most of the time I'm in the car, I've just been bumping like my new demos and just like getting G'd up because I'm digging them. But bumping that shit and like rapping along and getting excited. I feel like a lot of stuff that I drop, by the time I drop it, I'm kind of sick of it. But all the stuff I'm keen to drop in the second half of this year, I'm much more happy about. So I think that will manifest bigger and better things. And as a sneak peek for anyone watching this, I will be dropping a Bars of Steel very soon. That's been under wraps for a bit, but I'll tell you it's 180 plus bars. So if you want bars, there will be bars. So, you know, because, let me get the Bars of Steel thing straight. Bars of Steel is obviously Australia's Fire in the Booth. Like, that's what they're going for, right? But I watch Fire in the Booth and I'm like, they're like 8-9 minutes long.
So it used to back in the day just be one song. Now, they typically get longer because people are doing, they're spitting to more than one instrumental. They normally end up doing 2 or 3 different instrumentals. Plus, Charlie Slough can talk for days. You're a savage, you're an animal, and it ends up being a lot longer.
Yeah, and I guess that's the difference there is like, Charlie Sloth's wheeling it up and fucking making perfect glass shattering everywhere fucking. But yeah, anyway, I basically was, when I was given the opportunity to, which was actually quite early on, but I've been delaying it to help promote another thing that is dropping very soon. Okay. So I'll just give them a tease for that. But anyway, I'm dropping some shit and then following it up with Bars of Steel. And I was just like, man, I don't know, need to give people something new, and I wanted to address a lot of things as well. So yeah, covering a lot of topics and talking about some shit that people hopefully actually listen to and need to get, nothing too serious. Okay. It's not like I'm talking about some.
Okay, so you're not gonna like set the world on fire. It's not gonna be trending news across the world, cause loads of controversy.
No. I'm just like, I'm on Triple J. I got to say some shit now, like for sure. Like I'm on a national thing, and I got to bring that national game.
I mean, are you aware of how many people are listening to your content?
I guess so. Like I keep a close eye on it, but it's hard to gauge what a number means when, like apart from when I'm going and doing shows or seeing people. Like I'm basically, I don't actually, see that many people. I just do my thing. I'm pretty secluded, so I'm not. Well, apart from like, say I go to a shopping center these days. Pretty much every time I go to a shopping center or some shit, I got someone coming up to me being like, "Nerve, bro." So like, I guess that's a good indication of who's listening to my music. But I don't know. Yeah, but I'm trying to.
Yeah, I mean, are you aware, right, when you first started writing music, you're writing music for yourself, maybe just the friends who are first gonna listen to it, the first ever song you're ever writing, and then what you're talking about there, what you're saying, you're thinking, all right, maybe 20 to 50 people may listen to this, and then as opposed to now when you're writing stuff, are you aware that hundreds of thousands of people are going to be listening? Do you feel like over time you've changed what you're saying or how you say certain things because of how many more people are listening?
Yeah, definitely. Like back in the day was definitely starting off saying some shit that, yeah, man, I've definitely got the audience in mind, like I'm not going to go out.
That's just growing up as well, though.
Yeah.
That's just growing up with the art, man. Yeah, I even have it with my videos. I'm at a point now where I'm like really thinking about what I'm putting in my videos and how I'm influencing a culture of people.
Yeah, because we got kids out here taking our word as gospel, man. Like that's one thing that I did realize is we got young people out here that idolize us, and we gotta make sure that what we're putting out is what actually reflects us or reflects what we want to see in the world or.
Yeah, it can be interpreted the wrong way as well if you don't think about it properly.
Yeah, definitely. That's happened to me more than a couple of times. Definitely. Lyrics being misinterpreted or whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like, especially with drill, there's a huge conversation around, how much is drill influencing knife crime and all of these mad different things going on. But of course, I don't feel like it's the music's fault. It's not the reason why people are going out here, stabbing other people. Of course, if someone's in that mindset to go and do something that heavy, I don't think because of a song that they've heard is the whole reason that they're going to do it. I believe music can put you in a certain mood. It may be the reason why they got a little bit pumped up, but I don't think it's the reason they, go out and start doing the things that they're doing. However,
it might be the reason why they have it on them in the first place. They might not have that knife in their waist pocket if they didn't think that was something that people were meant to do. You know what I mean? If you create a culture where it's normal for people to have knife fights, then you have to carry a knife. You know what I mean? If other people have knives, then you need a knife too, man.
It's also kind of a chicken and egg thing, man.
We don't have that culture here, but you could potentially get it if you promote it.
Well, yeah, it really depends where you are. It depends who you hang out with, and it's kind of a chicken and egg thing as well, man. Like if you're in the knife culture or whatever you want to call it, then you'll listen to shit that promotes that, or vice versa.
I mean, here there's a huge culture around knife crime and whatnot. But I mean, if we go down the route of like drugs and things like that, like people here smoke weed. No one here rips bongs, like the whole of like 2Man and his dog does kind of thing. Like that's a way bigger thing out in Australia. There's a whole there's a bigger thing around heavier drug use as well. Here, if you drink or smoke weed, like that's it. They're the two things that are kind of socially acceptable here. Anything higher than that, it's looked down upon. Whereas in Australia, it kind of seems like there's a different dynamic to everything. Obviously, massive culture difference. But do you think music plays a part in that then?
Yeah, it's definitely a different dynamic
I
down
don't
here,
even
man.
think it's got anything to do with music. Hey, I think we just got a very competitive culture, and I think it's more like a competition. It's like a pissing contest, bro. Like with that shit. I don't know. It's funny, man. Like I've seen people have be like, "Nah, I'm gonna take the most pingers," and then like you got two dudes taking 16 pingers just because the other one's like, "Nah, I'm gonna take more pingers." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It is what it is, man. I don't really.
That's more the EDM music.
It's not the rap guys. It's all the EDM crew. Blame it on. I mean, no, but that does speak to it. I mean, if you look at EDM concerts and like drum and bass concerts in particular and things like that, like there's more drug use, heavier drug use at concerts and festivals related to that music. I guess you could use that as an argument.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it is interesting, man. Like in Australia and that stuff, because like you watch footage of UK grime concerts, UK grime, all that shit. There's dudes going absolutely mental, like when they're getting gassed up and just going nuts, and like people just go like, "Oh yeah, he was gassed up. That was some crazy shit." In Australia, bro, like after I do a set, I'm like the hypest I'll ever be. Like that's my high, and then everyone would just come up to me and be like, how many pills are you on, man? Like, they just assume that I'm gacked off my head because I'm just like hype. And like in the UK, same shit, bro. They do raves and they get on it, but like I don't know, it's different. It's like the culture just perpetuates itself. You know?
But you're right, though. It should never be on the artist. It always comes down to the individual.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Of course, I don't feel like it's an artist's responsibility at the well-being of the people who listen to their music. However, I think an artist can have an influence. Like, I think artists should have more of a positive influence. Now, I'm not going to be the guy to sit here and be like, oh, everyone has to be a pacifist and everyone's meant to be clean cut. I'm not saying that. But in terms of if you're going to tell your story about whatever it may be, you know, there's a way that you put a perspective on it. Like, for example, if someone does a track about alcohol, there's the perspective of alcohol can fuck you up. There's the perspective of moderate that shit. There's the perspective of let's just go get fucked up. You know, you can talk about these things, but it's your perspective on it at the end of the day.
Don't do drugs.
Stay in school.
Stay in school. I actually, like, the other day I was at a garage sale, and this kid like walks past me and he's like, "Oh no, blah blah blah," and I was like, he looked pretty young, so like I don't know. Sometimes I just don't know what to say when they just stand there like trying to take a photo. So I'm like, "Oh, he's still in school?" And he's like, "Yeah, bro." I'm like, "What school do you go to?" He's like, "Blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Oh, I went to this school," and he's like, "Oh, that's fucking crazy, man. Cheers for the photo." And I was just like, "Stay in school." Like, I don't know, bro. That's like, what else do you say? Like, sometimes you get into some really awkward conversations. Hey, like, yeah, it's like that.
It's a difficult one.
To really be. Like,
I mean,
all
I can speak to that is I'm a PE teacher. I'm a sports coach. So obviously, very recently.
What's sport?
Like,
sport?
So I mainly teach football, but then I teach in a primary school, so it's just like a bit of everything. So yeah.
Bro, you got to see me play football, bro. I'm a dog footballer. I'm not joking. Look, I got Nike FC right here.
Yeah, just because you look
Nike
like a baller, though, doesn't mean you play like a baller. All right.
Bro,
All right.
Trust me, bro. I got a kick on me. I played football since I was 10. Like proper football. Actually, bro, in the next clip I drop, I'm kicking around a footy.
So don't worry, I'll have to do the critique there then. We'll take your best bits. Obviously, only the best parts will stay in there.
Bro, I got techers for days, man. People don't even know.
I'll take your word for it.
Straight
But,
up.
yeah, so I mean, me being a teacher, you know, recently, very recently, some of the kids that I teach have found out about my YouTube, and so through that, then they found my music, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, man! Like Coach Charlie swears," and I'm like, So it's like now at this point now where they're listening and they're like, "Oh, you're swearing and you're saying this, that, and the other." Now for me, I don't talk shit in my music. I'm not gonna do the whole I keep it real 100. Not gonna do that route. But yeah, I would like to say that everything I say in my music, I'm aware that anybody can listen to it, including people, you know, really young. And so it's now made me aware that even down to my YouTube videos and things like that, like even like in the last video that I made, a Talakai reaction, I swore. And the first thing that popped up in my head was, oh shit, man. That kid who's like 7, 8 years old is watching and I'm swearing and this, that, and the other. And it's like, all right, that's one thing, but it makes me aware of how far your music or your content can reach from people who are like in their 50s. They've got grandkids coming all the way down to kids that are literally in like primary school. And so it's crazy how far your content can reach, especially with YouTube, etc., etc.
Yeah, bro. I found out today that I've got a fan. What was it? I've got like one of like Golly's auntie's. Like what was that shit, bro?
She's 41.
She's like a 41-year-old woman. I'm her favorite rapper. Like just weird shit like that, bro. Like Joe, only odd man. He'll be like, "Oh, my dad's listening to your shit right now. I'm like trying to chill at home, and he's just blasting your new music, and I'm just."
My parents have rocked a couple gigs too.
Yeah, man. Golly's parents go hard. My parents kind of like, I definitely keep them in mind. Actually, nah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't really think about my parents listening to my shit when I write it, but they do listen to it. So,
I mean, have you ever found it awkward? Like, do you ever feel awkward explaining what you do to especially older people who may not understand it as much?
To be honest, bro, the stigma around rap in Australia is pretty shit generally. So for the longest time, I don't like, okay, so if I have a friend and they introduce me, it's weird, bro. It's weird now because if I have a friend and they introduce me like, "Oh, this is my mate Toby, he raps," I'm like, because then they'll be like, there's some reactions, like maybe some people who like don't care, they'll be like, "Oh, that's mad, you make music," and then some people will be like, "Oh yeah," and then dickheads, their first question, like, bro, I was at uni and this chick's like, blah, 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 basically get to talking and inevitably it comes out like, "Oh, what are you doing this weekend?" "Oh, I'm going to Melbourne." "Oh, what for?" "Concert." "What type of concert are you playing?" Blah, blah, blah. "Yeah, I do rap." And they're like, "Oh, how many Instagram followers do you have?" And I'm just like, fucking hell. And at this point, I was like, "Oh, like 1,000 and a bit." She's like, "Oh, you know, you're famous." Fuck.
See...
But now it's like, bro, like I was having Easter with my girl's parents, my girl's mum and her mates, and they're like 40, and they're like trying like hella youthful, like 50-year-old women, like they're all on Instagram and shit. And like we took like a lit selfie because you know wine with the gals and shit, just flexing on them with the mum, and they like want to tag me in it, and there's like this 50-year-old woman, and they're like, "Oh, what's your Instagram?" Blah blah blah. And she's like, "Oh my god, you have 16,000 followers. That's crazy." It's just funny like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it gets a lot easier the bigger you get and the more numbers you put behind it to a certain extent. When you can explain to people, like when you first say, "Yeah, I'm a rapper, I make rap music," you know, I'm sure that it's obviously, as you said, the people who go, "Wait, that's so sick." And then you get the other people that are like, I'm a bit unsure. But does it make it easier, the fact that you can say, "No, but I do this for a living, you know, I make money, I'm able to provide for friends and family because of it"? Does it make it easier with that dynamic of it?
Nah, bro, I just say I'm a DJ and get the fuck out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like, "Oh, what do you do?" Like, man, like most of my family, like I don't even know if they know that I do this.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I don't even know if they know. Like it's almost like I'm coming out. Like, "Oh, I'm a rapper," and they're like, "Oh no, what would Jesus think, man? Fuck." Like, you know, it's like that, bro. I got a like hella Christian ass family, bro. It's hilarious. But Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I wish I
Yeah,
could keep it
they
hidden. It
think
just seems that everyone who has a conversation nowadays seems to go, "Oh yeah, he's a YouTuber," and it's like I'm not. I am a YouTuber, but I'm not one of those big YouTuber kind of things. And yeah,
Bro, you should start doing. You should start doing let's play videos, man.
that's how I started YouTube. To be fair, I started on the gaming shit. That's how I started.
Do you have
No,
Xbox?
I used to,
have
not
Xbox?
anymore. I'm PC.
What,
I'm
you
PC.
PlayStation? Oh, okay. So you're like a proper nerd. Like,
yeah. You
you
know what? I'll
you
take
build-
that.
you
Yeah,
build
I'll take that.
shit? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Bro,
how I
of
started. I
course.
started YouTube by doing gaming videos, and then it
What
well, it
games?
started
What games?
first off ever with Call of Duty and FIFA.
Call of Duty. Which Call of
The
Duty
one I
though? You can't
properly
just say Call
started
of
on
Duty.
was Black Ops 2. So I played the ones
Oh, so
before
you're-
that. I played the ones before that, but I never had internet like that. I never had Xbox Live. So my first
You missed out on Modern Warfare 2,
Nah,
bro. That
see,
was
no,
the
I
best
had Modern
one.
Warfare 2, but I didn't have Xbox Live at that point. My parents were like, no, you don't need Xbox Live for what? So the first one I played online
This is
was Modern Warfare 3. That was the first one I played online.
This is the juicy part of the interview, bro. When we talk about this shit,
This is
bro.
where the real substance is.
Modern Warfare 2 was the absolute shit because that shit was just the biggest fuck fest ever. Like
Quick
everything,
Yeah.
on Rust.
quick
Yeah,
scoping, the
Rust.
grenades were stupid, bro. Rust, all that shit. Modern Warfare 3 was cool,
Never the same.
but it was
No,
never
I'll
the
agree
same.
with that.
Yeah.
It was never the same.
Yeah, I got to play it after.
But anyway, I played the newest. I played Black Ops 4. That shit's pretty dope.
Yeah, no, I ain't
Pretty
played none
tight.
of the recent ones.
But
Do you have any weird questions?
What, so
for
should we
us,
just start
Chazza?
throwing
Do
the
you have anything?
curveballs in now? Alright.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
dude.
do you think? What,
I'm sick of talking about music. I hate
Alright,
that
switch
shit.
it up.
what were you always wondering about the team?
Okay.
Yeah.
Who is the one who gets most fucked up on a night out? That reaction already. Alright, go on then.
Okay, I'm gonna answer this one.
Oh shit! No, well,
Most
be
often,
careful.
Scrub, 100%. Like Scrub
Yeah,
is
Scrub
always,
likes
Scrub,
the party.
obviously. But every time we go interstate and we have like a big trip planned and we got to film like, because back in the day, man, we were going to Melbourne for 2 days and filming 6 videos type shit. Like we were going hard and we had to stay on it. But one night out of every trip we do, every tour, every anything, Golly fucking writes himself off, bro. Straight up, bro.
I
Like
get my shit done and then I have a little bit
Okay.
of time to myself.
when we met Greeley for the first time
Oh,
down in
shit.
Tasmania, this is back before.
Mm.
Shout out Greeley.
Yeah, shout out Greeley, free grills,
Agreed.
free grills, hashtag free grills. But first time we went to Tassie, man, like I don't really need to say, bro, but like,
Big one.
yeah, I had to help this dude. I had to save this guy's life, basically. Not really, but like pretty
Yeah.
much. This guy wrote himself off. But you know, we're all good boys
Oh,
here.
okay.
I'm gonna just. Long story short, Scrub.
Good
Let's
pun.
just
I
leave it
love
at
the
that.
pun as well.
He gets
no
fucked up.
pun intended.
Scrub's the youngest.
Yeah.
Scrub's got the young energy in him. He's got
Yeah,
it.
Scrub's got that like anti-hangover energy of like a 19,
Is he one of them
20-year-old
guys that
dude.
can wake up the next day and just be 100% fine?
Yeah, no, he's the one that he doesn't wake up because he didn't go to sleep and he's still fine.
I wish
know
I
what
was
I'm
like
saying?
that still. I wish I was like that. Okay, who's the one who
I was
pulls the most girls? Who brings the most girls in?
Are we talking strictly numbers or like quality?
You know what?
Toby
Let's
was
balance
like-
the two
no,
because
was
it
like-
matters, isn't it? Obviously, 2 of the top quality is more important than the whole party of. So
I
Dude,
think-
we all got ladies.
We're
man.
we're all about
Pretty
respecting.
tight.
We're all about
Shout
respecting
out
the
to
women.
that.
You know,
I-
we're
I-
about
I-
quality
I
over.
appreciate that.
We're all about quality over quantity.
We respect the shit out of women.
We're about quality over quantity. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not
Okay.
a numbers
No, I
game.
agree.
That's
I
all
agree.
I'm
I'm
gonna
with
say.
you. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Okay. Who's the one who spends the most time on social
Yeah,
media?
For
Probably me.
nerve. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fucking. I'm pretty
yeah,
bad.
I try to keep it as much as
Do you mean
minimal as
post-
As
Posting
in,
or
yeah,
just-
I mean,
just
in terms of just
perusing?
checking your feed, like one of them ones you've just closed Instagram, you look away, you open your phone and you open it up again just for the sake of it.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
guilty of that shit.
Bro,
It's like
everyone's
the
guilty,
muscle
man.
memory on your phone, like your
Yeah.
fingers just do it, man.
It's crazy times, bro. At the moment, everybody, like the other night, man, 6 people at a time just on their phone.
No, wait, let's get the facts though. Doesn't
It's
Instagram
crazy.
have screen time?
Oh, shit.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, how do you get the screen time? Your activity.
All right,
you know,
all
you
right,
got
all
to
right.
do
Where
this
is
too,
it? Where is
bro.
it?
All right, daily average time on Instagram.
Oh, that's scary. Bro.
Wait, wait,
I
wait.
do this.
I wanna
How
see
do you
yours.
find it? How do you
Come
find
on.
it?
Okay, so go in your thing and go up the top right, and you should have your activity.
Oh, into your
Yeah,
settings?
Insta. It's not. It's on Insta.
Nah,
Oh, but
it
that doesn't count.
show mine.
Oh, I don't actually. Doesn't show yours. Why?
So you got into what?
Yeah,
Your
Yeah.
Oh, is your Instagram a business
No,
Instagram?
mine's not. Maybe that's
Settings,
why.
Oh, settings. Anyway, I
Fuck,
spend
man.
an hour and 1 minute.
I got the most.
Oh, Golly's on Insta more than me. But in saying
Yeah,
that,
but I got to do everybody. I got to look after the whole
yeah, in
crew.
saying that, he's No1Network, which is also like a few other people too. So I'm gonna take that
Okay.
L.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that L.
I
What
can't
about you,
find it. I
Chazza?
can't
You
find it.
can't
I
see
know
it?
I'm not on Instagram too much though. I know I'm really not.
Yeah, fair. No, it's good for you, bro. I just caught myself scrolling just then, bro. So
Keep it professional. Okay.
yeah.
I am gonna bring it back to music, but it'll be a different kind of question. Artists that you want to work with most. Like the most unrealistic one
think
going. The
about
most
that.
unrealistic one going. Anyone of all time.
Kendrick
okay.
Lamar.
Yeah. I mean,
Just
that's
straight
how.
up.
That's yeah. No, there's not much to say about that answer.
Yeah.
That's just like fresh.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Mine's Gucci, man.
Gucci Mane. Oh, Golly wants to do a clip for
Okay, so
Gucci
we have
Mane
to
for
at
sure.
him and make sure that happens.
Because Golly would just want to hang out with the extras. You know, like the talent.
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Nah, but that's a hell good question. I don't know, man. I mean, like, I would have to say, from purely like everything all in one, to do a studio album with Dr. Dre would be the most ridiculous shit.
That's
You know what I'm saying? That dude,
Nerve and Dre
Yeah.
for sure.
yeah. But you know, like Nerve and Dre, I don't know, like it might be a problem. Like, might show him off. doing this shit.
Might teach him everything he knows.
Show him
All
off.
right.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, I don't think about collabing too much. I just like, I don't know, let it happen.
Who do you want to collab with?
Oh, nah, I won't prepared. You know what? Most unrealistic one going, Skepta.
Gotcha.
Skepta. Yeah,
Skepta.
man.
Yeah.
Skepta, man.
Alright, cool.
Oh, realistic one,
Oh, there's
On
some
the
good
real?
UK ones.
proper realistic one. Fuck, I'm trying to think, like, split it up into countries or something. UK.
Yeah, man. What UK artists are you
kinda hard to
fucking
say.
with right now?
Okay, let me have a look at what I'm listening to. Okay, this is get your Spotify playlist up. I want to see what you're listening to. Legit, this is the shit people want to know,
Okay,
like
okay.
proper. This is the shit because people want to, I feel like, okay, let's see my playlist. What's your playlist called, bro? Like, you go
My
to.
go-to playlist. To be
What's your
fair,
reason?
I'm not a playlist person. I'm more of an
So-
artist person. So if I'm in the mood to listen to a certain artist or a certain album, I like to listen to it like that. I don't like listening to my favorite songs of different people and then putting them all in one.
Right.
I'm an album
Yeah,
person.
true that. Well, ever since I got my license, I'm a playlist person because I'm just trying to bang out like all the good
Okay.
shit while I'm driving. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, okay. So my last 5 tracks. New Unknown T,
Yeah, me.
Meat. You seen that shit? Yep. Buddy.
Bye.
You heard Buddy? As in
Nah,
the rapper,
nah.
the singer. Trouble on Central. Have you
Nope.
heard Trouble on Central?
Okay.
He's a singer. I wish I wasn't stuck.
Oh,
on
wait, I might have
Central.
heard that.
You know
Maybe I
shit?
might have heard that.
Damn, I just can't wait till I get home.
Ringing a
Look it
bell.
up. It's dope. Trouble on Central and Black by Buddy. Pick Up the Phone by Young Thug and Travis Scott. Don't ask me.
Okay.
It goes hard. And Little by
Okay, yeah,
Octavian.
Octavian's
Octavian.
dope. Octavian is dope as fuck.
And I got one Drake song on there. I'll say I got the Drake and Meek Mill track. That
Bad.
shit
Okay,
bangs.
okay.
Yeah, that shit's
It goes bad. That shit goes hard.
See?
Yeah. What about you? What you got?
I got a few different ones. What I got?
What's
We
your
got
playlist?
Mask, Fucking.
No, let's go your playlist
Oh,
though.
alright. Which one?
What you go to?
They got
Oh
the-
yeah, my playlist
the
is called.
Esky,
My
bro.
playlist is called Bang Bang.
Okay.
By the
Bang
way.
Bang.
Bang Bang. Oh, also
Pete and Baz.
Back
Shout
then,
out
hard as
Pete
fuck.
and Baz.
Bro, I was this close to doing a Baznog. Have you seen that shit? It's called a Baznog because it's like eggnog, but you just crack a fucking egg into a beer and smash it, bro.
That sounds lit.
That's my type of shit.
My last 5 in the Esky playlist. That's
Okay,
my
okay.
UK grime shit. Jack, Prez T, P Money, Jammo, and Tempered T.
Yeah, so very grimy up in that
140.
bitch.
Ozai, where you
I
got?
like my grime. That's the Esky, man.
Ozai's phone is dead. Yeah,
what
what
have I
about you?
got?
What you
All right. So I save albums. So my
Oh,
last few albums that have been saved: Loyal Kana, dope UK artist, quite chilled. We've got Mist, Can't Stop
Yeah.
Clocks, dope track as well.
Okay.
My track obviously got myself saved. Chazza featuring Greasy, Merk him, just plugging that in right now. Fredo, Third Avenue, because I listened to it before, didn't really fuck with it, but listened to it again and was actually enjoying it. And number 5, Maverick Sabre, his most recent project, which is a real dope one as well.
Interesting. Are there any artists or like, I don't know, like, are there any artists in Australia that you're seeing as like underrated or like, you know, like
Okay, so I will
what's
say
your view?
Greasy.
Because
I
I
will
want to
say that straight off the bat is why I wanted to collab with him so hard, man.
yeah.
Coming from Perth, like he's really doing his thing right now. I believe that, and I do agree with you with Scrub. I feel like Scrub deserves a lot more recognition in terms of. I wouldn't say he's underrated because I feel like the people who know about Scrub know about him. I feel like he's underexposed. I don't feel like enough people know about him. The amount of people that say to me, "No, I've not listened to Scrub," or "I don't know who Scrub is unbelievable." I'm like, what? Like, I don't understand it. So I'll say underexposed more than underrated. Who else? There's gonna be so many that slip my mind. There's gonna be so many, but yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, not thinking of too many others, but yeah, there's plenty of people that, again, yeah, I'd say more underexposed than underrated, because the people who know about them, whenever I hear them talk, they've got such a positive fan base, they've got so many people who big them up, but it's just getting that to as many people as possible.
Yeah, for sure. Who would you want to see me do a track with from the UK?
In the UK. In the UK. Ah, you're throwing this one on me as well now. You know what? I just feel like it would work stylistically. JME. Because you're both about, right, so you can both do your grimy shit. You both can have that kind of intense delivery if you want to, but you don't chat shit. You stick to your truths and you kind of wear it with your chest. And like JME could do a whole 140 BPM grime track about a cheese toasty, like, and he just gives no fucks and he'll wear that with his chest. And I feel like you're the kind of artist that could do that too. So you and JME would be dope as fuck.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel
like that could really work.
Yeah, he's beating.
As for Ozai, that could be.
What is that?
Because I see a lot of people that Australia are working with right now. A lot of people are from the Midlands, like Kamikaze, Eyes, all of them boys. But in terms of, I know the London scene way more. Who would be a good one? There's so many, man. There's so many to choose from.
Well, get
Who's
in
interrupting,
here, bro.
huh?
Say hi to Chazza.
Huh?
It's only
What
odd.
you saying, bro?
Big only odd.
Yes.
What's up?
You're looking fly as a
Much,
motherfucker.
man. Thank you very much. Yeah, man, I've been good. All right, new question. Who? Oh, man. No, that's a shit question still. I can't ask that.
I'll tell you if it's a shit question.
All right, I'm going to have to do it. Who has the worst fashion sense? Who has the worst dress sense going?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know who's going to be fucking out who here. Who is the worst dressed? Like, they just come through and it just does not work.
Yeah, wait, Joe can say anything, bro. Say it. Come on, Joe.
Alright. Wait, out of just like the Oz scene?
No one network.
Oh, no
yeah,
one network.
we're keeping it in-house. We're keeping it close here.
Fuck, I ain't answer that.
Oh, God, there we go.
Worst dress sense. Out of No1Network.
And you gotta have a good reason.
And a good reason why.
Well, it's subjective anyway.
No one, because everybody's.
No, that's a
No,
safe
alright,
answer. I'm not
he doesn't wear
accepting that answer. That's too safe.
No. Scrub because he doesn't wear any socks.
He's saying scrub because he don't wear those socks.
Wait, but has he got bad looking feet? Is he one of them dons that has the crusty toenail?
That's not fashion sense. That's hygiene.
No, that's not. It's fashion.
He says he has the
He's
worst
got good
hygiene
feet.
too.
Yeah,
Wow, okay.
You can't do him like that, bro. You can't.
No, he looks swag. He always dripping, but then you see and you're like, oh,
Dripping.
where the socks at?
Okay.
Why don't you tell
I
us,
don't know,
Chazza?
because
Yeah,
I'm only looking at music videos, so obviously people are meant to be well dressed.
And that's where it
Nah,
matters.
Yeah, bro. So
That's
I
where
want
it
to know
matters,
behind the
bro.
scenes
Hey,
on
what
a
about-
day-to-day.
You haven't seen me on a Monday night, bro. I look
Yeah,
like
but you
shit.
dress up in some mad
I'll
shit
tell
for No1Network story, like these mad shades.
I'm joking. I'm always looking fresh. Don't worry about
Always.
that.
You got any video questions, bro? You got any vid questions? Any story? Anything you wondered whatever the fuck how that happened?
How did the first No1Network ciphers come about? How did they come about?
Which one? We got the day ones. That was back when we it was probably like the first 6 months of us.
Yeah,
all
how
kind of
did you all get together
really-
in the first place? Was it all like knowing each other already, or did you have to reach out to anyone, or?
we were living together.
Yeah, it's kind of like a different story for each person. But
Yeah.
basically, like,
It's a very natural network, but also like everyone was mutually kind of knowing each other in the city. And then we had a few houses that kind of brought everyone together, and
yeah, Brizzy's kind of like a big country town. So if you do the same shit, you're all kind of just going to meet each other somehow, you know.
yeah, we had this big house in Ennerley, south side. And
The trap house.
we always- yeah, and we were like 19, so we were, like we're all different ages, but we were young, so that was when we were all partying and hanging out a lot.
Yeah.
And at that stage, it was kind of just like friends supporting a lot as well. Like, you know, it was just kind of posted on Facebook and direct network of your friends kind of sharing it around and being like, hey, here's these new guys doing stuff.
Hey, Joe.
And
let me get-
naturally through that, we just had friends that everyone came together. And the first one was at
Who's that?
Kangaroo Point.
Bro, I'm just in the DMs, bro.
Just like anybody who wants to
that's
come
actually-
fuck with it, that was friends and were partying with at the moment, you know,
Bro, gotta get in.
came through.
Okay.
The first official one was the Bright Lights. That was
You're logged in.
a year ago.
Oh, Joe. Joe's on, like, only odds on Insta for 2.5 hours a day.
Bro, you gotta bust down. I'm
sorry,
freshly
Joe.
single, bro. You gotta get
Okay.
in. You gotta get in the
That's
It's all
team.
about you, know.
Oh, it's
cool.
See,
that,
look
What
at him.
you got?
He's
About
interrupting Kyle. What is this about? Rudely.
We were talking about this before.
Wait, how many hours you got?
Shit,
1 hour.
Yeah,
But
bro.
no, that is quite concerning. Joe's 2 hours
That's a
and
bit
something.
much.
I
That's
got-
because he's got a broken hand.
Bro, I gotta break
You got
it
So
nothing
what? You're
else to
just
do,
out
like.
here just sitting on
You got
Insta
nothing-
because of your broken hand.
Yeah, looking up bitches, bro. How do you think he broke his hand in the
Oh,
first
okay.
place?
Okay.
busting
So
it.
what's the story behind you breaking your hand then?
Alright. Boom. I was playing touch football. And I ran up on some guy.
That's pretty Aussie.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just reached out to touch him and then my finger bent back.
Basically,
And I was like,
he's a pussy.
ow. And then I kept on playing the game. I scored 2 tries, right? But
It's 9 o'clock.
each try, I landed on my hand. So it swelled up. I went to work the next day. I do landscaping, right? Kept on working for a week. And then I was like, nah, let's go to emergency because it still hurts. And then they're like, boom, it's broken.
And then he ripped his cast off after a day.
See that?
What?
I had some shit to
That's
do,
just how
bro.
it just gets more fucked up. But it's
Don't
alright because
need
you
it.
can sit on
Bro, but
Instagram
now
for
I'm-
longer,
I'm-
so it's all good now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I swear, he's so happy about it.
Yeah, bro, I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
I can still do shoots, though. I still take photos.
Yeah, he
Broken
just
hand.
finished a photo shoot, so he's good.
Who's
Oh,
the one who's
Yeah,
always
that's
asking
it.
to get in the pictures? Who's the one who always has the camera out?
Oh, shit.
Joe's always got his camera. I've always got my
I travel
camera.
with my camera everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Even when I go into the toilet.
Yeah. Especially when he's
Gotta,
in the
I gotta have the
toilet.
camera out.
Always the camera on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess like Carl's always got the video camera and then like a film camera. I've always just got a film camera. And then, you know, people out here with their phones.
Hmm.
We're on a little VCR cam now.
Yeah. We get deep into the capturing of content.
Mad.
Any-
Have you have you
stories?
ever filmed a video that's gone really wrong? Like we've never seen it. Has there been any video shoots that have gone south quick?
I remember I was at the studio and I was shooting one for Smack and Dean.
No, I swear every video you shot's gone south real quick, bro.
Yeah, bro. Basically, like, everyone got faded.
He's talking about the videos.
That hasn't been released just because I'm, like, lazy. Basically, it was like, everyone got fucked up. So when I was sober, I looked at it and was like, whoa, I don't remember how I structured this. And then it just never came out.
So yours hasn't even got a mad story. It's
Yes.
just unorganized.
Yeah. Basically.
He was even
All right.
to this, so you know.
I didn't even. This was
Alright, so
happening.
let's just a little bit. What's the best video you've ever filmed? To all of you, like what's for you as an individual in the room? What's the best video you was a part of? What was the most fun to film? What was the best as a final project?
Oh,
I've got a couple, obviously.
yeah, you done heaps.
Yeah, that's
I
one
gotta
for Golly
say,
big
my
time.
first-
Like, what's the best video you've ever filmed?
That's a hard question, but I got different types of. Man, I'm always gonna love my fucking one takes, bro. Do you ever seen the THC one that we did in Tasmania?
Oh,
In
that's
the
the
house.
one take cipher.
That was cool. With
That shit was-
Buddy.
Starts in the backyard
Yeah.
with Nerve on the
Yeah,
swing, and then
I was
Butter
about to
Dick
look it up.
on
I know
the
exactly
bin.
what one you're talking about. Yep.
She was
bro, the
sick.
feeling of organizing that shit and nailing it is sick. Like
crazy.
Servo obviously comes into that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was fucking mental.
Yeah, that shit. That
That
shit
was-
was funny. Yeah.
Was literally 5 a.m. at a
Yeah.
Servo.
Yeah, that was just like not
Pretty
planned.
big night.
Yeah.
And first time I filmed it, I actually
Okay.
fell over.
I saw that.
We got kicked out of a servo at one point.
That's
as
the-
well.
Did the boss man
And
know
then,
that you was
yeah.
filming in there? Like, did you say beforehand, look, we're coming into film, or did you just walk in filming and he just said nothing?
It's better to ask for forgiveness than
Okay.
permission.
Yo, Banksy said that.
It's
You know what I'm
hard, yeah.
saying?
You just gotta.
Look at Nerve trying to claim somebody else's quote now.
It's just because I read the Banksy book like the other day, and I remember that quote at the end.
Yeah, you always. It's always better off just running it, eh?
Shoot first, ask questions later.
Always
Alright.
run it.
First, ask
Yeah, what
questions left to solve the
Scumbag as well.
Yeah,
that was
Scumbag
fun.
looked like a crazy
Yeah,
video,
that was-
to be fair.
That was fun, yeah.
Yeah.
I think as a
that
group
was
project
nice.
that like we all scrambled together on one day and it all happened like Kyle did a lot to organize it and it was very structured. So that's why the clips go well, is because this guy's man. And then it's like for us to step up and work with him. Because like if we're all lazy, then the
Yeah.
idea doesn't come out. But if we all stick together, that's why that scrub video was like is because everyone played like a specific role. Like even me, I wore a wig and I was looking like Nerve and I did fuck all. But like it just like blended in because everyone was playing like a role.
Everyone came together.
Who was painted up
so like
blue?
when everyone comes together, like,
Mess.
mess.
Yeah.
Running around like a smurf.
We just found we were at the store and we just found a bottle of fucking blue paint. It was after Aussie Day, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll just paint myself in that." And we were like, "What?" He's
He's like,
"Yeah,
like
I'll just-"
Smurf, bro.
Sweet. And then we had a high vis beanie in the fucking boot, and and then that happened. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that was sick.
Yeah.
The A-bomb one was pretty crazy as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
A-bomb was gnarly experience. It was
That was in the woods. That was like
three days, 1 day scouting. Sam Bradley organised it, an old friend of mine, and he came through real hard. He organised like uni students and shit to do makeup and setup and stylization and a whole bunch of shit.
the Where You Been video was pretty dope too
Yeah.
in Melbourne. The chill and nerve track.
Yeah, that was fun.
Because like we were with everyone. That was that the day after the show? And we went
I don't
to.
know.
Oh no, I think maybe
Oh,
like
where you been? Yeah.
yeah, we
There's
just
been
went
a
to
lot
the
of
rooftop.
running guns as well. Have been gnarly that happened very rushed in the moment, but piecing it together, and then I think that's why people get around them. One of them, like the Nerve and Wombat stuff as well, like
Yeah.
Survival, Where You Been, similar vibe. Survival as well, but all the night shift shit was just when we were on the go doing shows in Melbourne, Hobart, and like it was pretty.
Run
fucking-
that was sick because we were in the middle of like the biggest train station in Australia, just blasting our shit as loud as we could out of a speaker and just rapping at the camera like no one was there. and there were all these suits walking around like, who the fuck are these two junkies right
Yeah.
here? You know what I mean?
It's not home to us either, so we're just like fucking kids running
Just
around.
with a camera.
So,
But
fun
little
as
did
fuck.
they know they'd create a masterpiece. Little did they know.
You gotta get some first though, hey, always. Gotta have always gonna be a good track.
Shooting shows is pretty wild as well, because it's like, that's when shit's not planned. That's when you capture.
Oh, it's in the moment.
Like,
Yeah, you're
shooting
capturing
together.
the moment.
Yeah,
Hardest
like,
as well. They're
yeah.
the hardest.
Get Bodied tour in Greesy when they sold like 800 tickets.
We had 4
That-
videographers.
That was fucking ridiculous. Like so much shit happened that day. Like, so yeah, being in the pit, being able to shoot stuff like that, like, I would have never guessed to be at that venue selling 800 tickets, like Oz rap scene just blowing up. It never happened before. And then it got shut down by like fucking like 30 coppers.
That was weird.
There was a riot, bro. Like
That was weird.
that was all over the news. And then I'm telling my parents,
It's a conspiracy.
oh, that's where I was.
It's the government. The government did it the whole fucking time.
Fine.
I was
They
down the
set it
street
all
selling merch. So I was.
It was Elon Musk, bro. I swear.
Yeah.
That
Trying to
literally-
destroy hip hop.
Bro, that literally happened a week after me and Chill dropped the track where he says something
Yeah,
about being
I
on the
remember.
Channel 9 news.
Till
'cause
I
of
hit
the
prime
track.
time on the Channel 9
And then
news,
we're
yeah.
Yeah, and
And then he did it. Manifestation,
go.
my G.
Law of attraction. So, all right, so we're
Yeah.
gonna switch it up a bit. Best fast food chain.
Oh,
shit.
that's a good one. I got
Okay.
around the Dirty Bird pretty hard, eh?
Yeah,
KFC,
KFC
man.
is pretty dope. I'm not gonna say best. I'm not gonna say best, but I will say underrated. Do you guys have a Porto?
No.
Oh fuck, I have a Porto.
No,
Shit, man,
what
it's
is
pretty
dead
underrated.
I mean,
right.
you guys got the mad little chicken
Yeah.
shops. I mean,
Yeah.
I was in
Yeah,
London for
we
a
got
week,
chicken shops
and that-
everywhere. Like chicken
that-
shops are the ones.
Subway, bro.
Man, 2
Yeah,
Subway,
we have
down,
Subway.
feed.
Subway. Yeah,
What do you
Subway's
get? What do you
lit.
get at
What do I
Subway?
get? Last time I went, I think I
Are we-
got
are we putting fast in there?
what did I get last
bro,
time? I think I
Subway
got the
fast food.
big beef with bacon, cheese, and then all of this other shit.
Fuck you,
What
don't
type of
get
cheese?
that.
Normal cheese. I don't fuck with like mad cheeses.
Hey, you don't fuck with Old English cheese. They don't have Old English cheese.
They would, but not
Do
that
you-
I
what type
know
of bread
of.
do
Yeah,
they-
not that I know of in Subway.
Doing it
You
wrong,
should
Chazza.
know. What type of bread are you picking?
Herb and something Italian.
Yeah.
Italian herbs and
Alright.
cheese. Okay, that's alright.
That's okay.
I
You're
get the
okay.
tuna, bro. You gotta get the tuna
Yeah,
Subway.
the
fuck
tuna, bro. You don't-
Tuna
bro.
fish track incoming.
Protein. You know what protein is in tuna, my G?
I don't care, bro. You don't go out and get tuna. It's like fucking dog slop.
I grew
bro.
up on tuna, bro. So and
Oh.
it's in the medium price bracket, you know. Yeah, straight up. Thanks,
Done.
man. Appreciate it.
Who says I was
Done.
advocating it? I just said you do. You know, Shit.
Respect.
No, I think like fast food's different where you go though, because KFC for me, KFC's shit here, yeah. But when I went New Zealand, it was actually alright. So
Yo,
I think it
man,
depends
that's-
where you are in the world. I hear
These are
McDonald's
big
is
ups.
better in like certain countries compared to other ones.
I had a Big Mac last night for the first time in like
Yeah.
10 years.
yeah.
She was pretty nasty.
McDonald's is one of them ones
Yeah.
though.
I don't really
I
fuck
crave
fast
it, I go, I eat it, and then regret going. It's like, why did I even come here in the first place? It's just one of those ones.
I don't regret Domino's most of the time. Back
get some
Domino's.
Domino's.
Yeah, I gotta go to bed.
Pretty hungry.
You got work in the morning.
Getting pretty hungry now,
I
man.
had to bring on the
Don't.
subject of food. All right, iPhone versus Android. Apple versus Android. What's better?
Oh, I got an iPhone, but
It's one of
I
those things, right? Like I
They got a
fucking
monopoly,
rep
man.
Apple, but I know that obviously it's the fucking evil, manipulated,
It's run by the
stylized
government,
version
all
of
of that
everything
shit.
else. Man, apparently
What
Apple
are you gonna
fucking
do?
buy all the
What are you gonna
Samsung
do, bro?
shit.
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
man. Samsung fucking run
Samsung
it.
make iPhones, bro.
They
I
run
don't
the game.
Illuminati, bitch.
Crazy.
Best
There you
clothing
go.
brand. Like, what's
Ooh.
your go-to? Like,
Ooh.
obviously,
Adidas.
everyone doesn't only shop from one, but like, what's the one where you've got your best drip from?
Adidas.
Like, your best.
Adidas is consistent.
That's a hard one.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I was getting shit off this brand called Dead from Sydney, and that shit was dope as fuck. But then they went under, so I'm pretty sad about that. But they were dope,
Okay.
really dope. Also, I guess I'd say I like in terms of like sportswear, I have them mostly Nike. Mostly Nike.
Definitely, yeah. I'm probably a New Balance kid was where I all started.
I like New Balance kids. I fuck with them because they're steezy.
Well, I try to keep it pretty local as well.
Nah, Supreme G.
Sports shops, yes. Sports shops are mad different in Australia, and even again, I only see in New Zealand. Yeah, it's way too expensive around your side than it is compared to here. Like, just judging by like just the prices and what you've got the shit that we had like 2 or 3 years ago, but it's like double, if not no whatever, like nearly triple the price. Like, I can get I can get Nike trainers for like £35 here, yeah, which is like $70, $60, $70.
Wait, when you're saying trainers, like what are we talking? What are we talking? Show us your creps.
Wait, where's
crep check?
Crep check, Chazza.
The only ones I've got in here at the moment, they're a bit dirty, but I don't go mad when it comes to trainers. I don't go mad.
Okay, you're casual.
He tried that card.
You listen to enough hip hop, you got this, Chazza. You can get some.
Get some
Nah,
air
see, I
bubbles.
don't do none of that shit. That ain't me.
Sports. Daddy Sports will give you some crepes, bro.
Air Max 95s, $230 here.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, those black and white crepes will go good with your new shirt.
Oh, lucky we get
good.
Yeah, bro. Pull up JD.
We just got JD
Yeah,
Sports.
see, we have JD as well, but your JD Sports is just way more pricey. Like, even after, obviously, I know because there's a currency difference, but even when you like, what's the word I'm looking for? Even when you add that up anyway, yeah, it's still more expensive. Way too expensive. All right, best alcoholic drink.
I've been hitting the rum and cokes when I drink lately. I like
whiskey. What whiskey?
Yeah.
What whiskey?
Spice rum, Cellar Jerry's.
Fireball is good too.
Oh, Fireball's lit.
Yeah. Get around a bit of Fireball.
Whiskey dry is the drink to bust down on.
Vodka apple goes hard as well because that shit keeps you hydrated.
So none of you man are on the pints or on the beers or anything like that, or?
I'll smash a couple beers if I've had a good day of accomplishing things.
Good BB.
You know what I mean? But I feel like that shit's gonna give me a belly, bro.
Marty's got a VB tattoo on his body, so
yeah, Marty from 111 loves it. They love their beer, bro. They love their piss. 111 boys.
111 still.
They love
all right. Best movie you watched recently?
Oh shit. Us. That one that just come out.
I heard that was good.
Yeah, that was good.
You know that one?
The Jordan Peele one?
It,
yeah, that one's good.
Dusk Till Dawn.
That shit's fucked.
So good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody watching a
Watch
series
that
at
shit,
the
man.
moment?
Lunatics.
Okay, here we go.
You guys got Chris Lilly out there?
Watch
You guys
that
got Chris
shit,
Lilly?
bro.
Yeah, Chris Lilly, yeah.
Summer High Tide? Yeah, fucking no. His new shit.
I heard it's a bit controversial, his
Yeah.
new shit. Isn't it set in South Africa or something?
He's like the Australian Sacha Baron Cohen, but he's actually
I like
good
Chris
and
Lilly.
funny.
I watched him
So-
from when he did Angry Boys and Summer Heights
I don't really fuck
High.
Sacha Baron
Jonah from Tom.
bro.
No, bro. He's alright, but he's kind of. I don't know. I feel like you see 5 seconds of a Sacha Baron Cohen skit, you've already seen the whole thing.
Yeah.
He's just gonna like get his nuts out and take a shit on the ground or something like that. You know what I mean? Whereas Chris Lilly plays. I don't know, bro. The dude went and did a South African accent spot on. I don't know anyone that can do that.
Yeah, that's
You
a
literally
difficult
just have to be
accent
Australian.
to
No, that
to do.
South African accent is insane. I don't know how anyone.
Give me your
does
best
that
South
shit.
African accent impression.
Nah, bro. It's like halfway between Kiwi and British. It don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Yes, you all come from the same mum, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. Check out Chris Lilly. Haven't really watched much of it.
What's your favorite movie?
Of
Yeah.
all time. Of all time, Step
Yeah,
Brothers. Step
you got
Brothers.
one?
And then you may as well.
With Will
Oh,
Ferrell. That's
okay,
my
it's a
film.
good
That's
movie.
just a film. Yeah, that's that holds a place in my heart. That one.
It's a film. It is definitely a
Will
film.
Ferrell's good. Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
So,
What do you reckon of Adam Sandler?
You know what? As a kid, I liked
Dead
him, but
ass,
now
man.
I'm looking at him and I'm a bit like, eh. As a kid, I liked him, but as I got older, nah, not really. Still. Okay.
Man's crazy, bro. I don't know how he gets the money, but he does it. You
Shout out to
gotta
him.
respect his
He's on
grind.
hustle right now. Still.
He made a movie about he turns into other people's shoes. Like whatever shoes they have, he turns into.
Yeah, but see,
them.
no one else
He
can
made
do
a whole
that but
movie on
Adam
that.
Sandler. So
Exactly.
there you go.
That's
All right,
crazy.
and we'll do one last one before we finish up. We'll do one last one. I'm gonna say best comedian, your favorite comedian, if you're into comedy at all.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's that guy.
That's it. You're all in it.
I mean,
Oh, bro,
There
there's so
is.
many.
It
No,
depends
it's
what
gotta
kind
be
of
a
mood
British
you're in,
dude.
but
I like a British dude called Bill Bailey, man.
Bill Bailey.
Bill
Yeah.
Bailey. Is he a ranger?
No, he's got long hair though. But he's like a musical one, man. He's on a show
What about
called
Tim
Black
Minchin?
Books. Bro, I love that guy.
Black
I love that
Books. Yeah, Black Books is sick.
guy. Yeah.
I grew up.
He's my
I grew
Black
up watching Red Dwarf,
Oh, I
Black
love
Books, all British
Okay.
shit, bro. Like, I grew up watching all that.
man, I fucking love Seth Rogen. So it's a weird one, but I think he's a fucking he's
Yeah.
king. His grind and the shit the movies he's making were the ones that he was writing when he was a kid with his mates, and the way their whole network of fucking.
Alright.
It's awesome.
You know what? I know I
Yeah.
did say last one, but this one's just come to mind. Are any of you fans of the UFC?
Yeah.
Bro, I've been playing UFC against my mate for like 2
Right,
days
right,
straight.
right,
We got
right.
And I
UFC
can't
running
beat him,
up
bro. That shit's...
So
Yeah,
what
I
what
watch
fighters
it,
are
but
you
I
fucking
play
with
it,
right
and-
now? Anybody fucking with any fighters in particular, or
I don't
like-
know any of their names,
I like
bro.
Rashad Evans on like the old UFC games that came out, like the first ever one that came out. Rashad Evans, bro, boom, right hook. Boom.
that go-to move
Yeah,
over
but
and over
no-
again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the head, bro. Knock him.
We gotta ask Lukey what's up. We gotta ask Big Rico what's up, bro. I don't know anything about UFC. I just like playing it because you can just weave and,
Do mad shit.
you know.
And Jackie Chan's
Oh,
up
that
there.
cyborg girl.
I just play
that
as Bruce Lee.
cyborg girl's badass.
I play as
shit,
Bruce Lee.
It's Bruce Lee. Yes.
And actually, you know what? I fuck with Super Smash Brothers way harder
Okay.
than UFC.
Smash
yes.
Bros. All right.
Yeah, you fuck with Super
No,
Smash
I never
Brothers?
played it. I'll be honest. Never. That's it. I've
Oh,
just
brother.
offended the world.
Are you
Yeah, no,
serious?
I never had a Nintendo. Never had a Nintendo.
That's
That's
alright.
That's alright.
That's it.
You
No,
got-
no, no.
That's not
See,
alright.
different if
We
I had a
started on
Nintendo, but then
Xbox
never
too.
played it. Then that's
Started on-
different. But I never had a Nintendo, so. Yeah. There you
That's
go.
alright.
No, I've left it. I've never
You had
left Nerf
friends,
Salty now. He's gonna send a diss track for me.
You had mates, right? Like as a kid, you had mates. None of them have a Nintendo.
What's your favorite song right now?
See, you're coming in late. Don't
I
come in
just-
late
I
and start nosing it up. No, but to be fair, I didn't say favorite song though. Favorite song at the moment, Octavian Bet.
Hey,
Yeah,
you know
that's
they deleted the original.
Have they straight up
Yeah,
just
it's
deleted
just
it?
him.
Hey, they deleted it, so it's the
Okay,
Skepta
I
one
didn't
now.
even know that
Is
one
that-
still.
that's
Yeah,
just-
but I like both
That's-
versions. I was listening to the Skepta one last night. But
What do you think of Old Town Road?
Yeah, what do you think of Old Town Road?
it's not for me.
I'm going to
But I
take
feel like they're
my-
gonna start a trend now of country trap music. I feel like they're gonna start a trend.
Yeah.
I was in the car. And it came on, and I was like, you know what? I don't care if this is a meme. It's a good track.
Yeah.
It's a good track. The dude can actually sing.
Yeah, it's Billy Ray
catchy.
Cyrus. You've got an
Why
absolute
not?
country legend. I feel like if it was anybody else, it wouldn't have popped. But because he's so respected
Yeah,
by
but the
country
guy-
fans,
but-
it's the only reason why
But
people could take
not
it
even
even half
Even the
serious.
Billy Ray version, bro.
So
Lil Nas X can sing too, bro. It's like I don't even think like like the OG, not even Billy Ray, the OG
Smoking a Billy Ray Cyrus.
dude that made the song. He goes hard.
well,
Goes it.
boys, thank you for
Yeah,
dropping by. I
that's
appreciate it. Is there anything you want to promote last minute before we finish up?
Big Switch drops May 3rd. Bars of Steel drops in a
Mhm.
couple weeks. Tour with Triple One on the East Coast. No1Network studio just opened in Brisbane. If you need studio time, hit us up. Big Boy Raps. Shout out
Thank
Chazza
you.
for having
Yeah,
us.
yeah. You're an
Thank you.
OG, bro.
Yeah, man.
Cheers,
Boys,
dude.
appreciate it.